What's up? Happy Friday. Nope. Happy Saturday night, bitch. I forgot what night it was. I don't know why the hell my nose is so red. Look how red my nose is, man. That's fucking crazy. I don't know. I almost didn't want to stream tonight because of how red my nose is. I was like, kind of embarrassing, but I've been embarrassed before. So as you can see, we're still unregistered with our with our screen mirroring software. But if you can see under global scenery, it says inactive. There's a reason for that. We're actually using the beta version of Aerofly FS Flight Simulator. If you have an iPad, go download Test Flight, and you can do Aerofly FS from here. So it expires in 87 days. We're on version 1.5.2 bits. Anyways, hit like, hit subscribe. I had a request for this kind of flight with the 737 MAX. So, you know, I like to do real flights. So we're gonna base this thing off this flight right here. Alaska Air 461 from Seattle to Washington. We don't really need to worry too much about most of these waypoints. Actually, you know what? I should take that back. A lot of these waypoints are actually in Aerofly. For some reason, the one last night when we flew it, like none of those waypoints were in Aerofly, but a lot of these waypoints are in Aerofly. I got it written down right here. But yeah, man, we're gonna fly this airplane, land it in Boston, and we got it set for Navigraph here as well. So we are goods to go. All right, let me get this. So you can see we have the Alaska MAX, our location, Seattle Airport. Let's cold and dark this bitch. Start here. We're taking off from 34 right. Let me mute myself. I got to mute the microphone for a second. All right, that's better. It was a little too low for my liking. All right, let me calibrate this. Time of day looks okay. I don't know if we really need to adjust that or go outside for a moment and see what it'll. I think time of day is okay. All right, very good. Let me make sure we have sound up in this. All right, let's get this thing turned on. Come up here to battery. Get that turned on. Turn on our ground power. I guess we'll do the IRS now. They still never fixed this. They were supposed to fix this. When you go up top, they were supposed to fix this to where it still would show the right way. They did. Let's see if I... Oh, you know what? Is there a seat in the middle? Bet you I can do it for me. No, it won't. Oh, that's so gay. You guys are gay. Gay fly. All right, take the outer wheel. Turn it that way. So it's on heading STS. So you're going to want to turn it clockwise. And then turn this clockwise to nav. Turn this clockwise to nav. Go down and set up everything. Not really a whole lot you can actually... Not really actually a whole lot you can set up in this aircraft. You can do a few things. So let's go ahead and do our position first. We have KSEA. I don't know what gate we're at. Go to the next page. Either one of these will work, so click on one of them. Go back, set IRS position. Now that's set. Go to route. Type in KSEA is already in there. Let's go to origin. KBOS for destination. Our flight number is ASA 61. Hang on, let me adjust this filter real quick. Maybe I have this filter on too loud. So it was really loud last night, some of the outside flight, so I wanted to change that. I put a filter on. Okay, so it's not the filter. It's just the airplane's not loud. But then I guess I'll just have to keep on talking. All right, let me put this down back to 10. The virtual cable I'm using for this is typically... The virtual cable I'm using for the sound right now is typically what I would use in for GSX. So I had it set for GSX, but GSX here. All right, let's go to departure and arrival. Departure. So we got 34 right. Plug that in. We have November 6. Plug that in. Execute. Index. Arrival. The right number 2 button. Have FOB N2. ILS 4 right. That is not our transition that I'm familiar with. We'll plug it in for now and see how it goes. We may have to delete that. Now, typically you would be in this root menu, and that's where you would input. Next, let's see if it'll accept the waypoint. I don't think it will. That's what I thought. So you go to legs, go to your discontinuity, put it in there. Then we have Zelic. That in. Then Dirin. Humor. Execute. MLP. Page. TF. Maybe it won't accept GT. All right, we'll do cookie. Oh, maybe it just won't let us do that. Let me try hitting enter quick. So it won't let us do Koki there. Wonder if it just won't let us do any more waypoint. All right, Wilton. I mean, if it doesn't do another waypoint, it is what it is. All right, so we can't put any more in here. Every once in a while with Aerofly, you'll reach a limit to like not be able to put any more waypoints in. We have now reached that limit. So what we have to do is I'm gonna connect this route real quick, and I want to look at it on the map because I am not sold on that transition, that Winnie transition that we're supposed to have here. Let me look at it on the map here. Let's go ahead and change our view map. Let's go ahead and switch these screens over. Throw button right here, and I just want to look at our flight real quick. So let's go to hit legs. Start at the beginning. Okay. All right. Usually when you hit legs in the in Microsoft Simulator, when you hit legs, it brings you back to the beginning. All right. So here's our departure. Let's step through this. Look at it. Step is on the bottom right. We're going to go to the main page and add the rest of the waypoint into it. I'm not sold on that Winnie. Oh, maybe it's okay, actually. Alright, it's fine. Alright. What do I know? I guess I'm in it. Alright. Put this back on map. Let's go back to the main screen. So plug in the rest of our waypoints. Let's go to navigation now. And we left off at MLP, so let's hit the spyglass button, do F. Plug that in. See if it'll let us do Koki. Okie, Wilson. Now, if you get like this, like on this iPad, how it spell check it, you hit the stack, go down to waypoints, and you can find Wilton on here somewhere, I'm sure. So anyways, let's type it in again. L N O detail. This spell check really. Rub key. We only have 2 more to put in. And condo. All right, there we go. Now we can go back. Click on start. Let me put it on my belly so it's aligned. Calibrated properly. All right, let's put on the APU. Flip this screen how it was before. All right, very good. Put the APU on. All right. On our collision lights. Steady. Prepare to land. Starter going. There will be sound eventually, I promise. I don't know why it's so low tonight. I think it's just the airplane. It's just not loud right now. But as soon as this light right here in the center here, there we go. APU generator on. Heat on. Turn some pumps on. Window heat on. Generator. All dampener on. Alright, let's come down here now. We gotta finish getting our stuff together. Let's go to the initialization page. Now our cruising altitude is 37,000 feet, so L70 execute. Now this should all be done already, yeah. Zero fuel, you can just tap it in. Curves, center of gravity, cruise wind, KSEA, like it's all done for you. You don't need to do it. It's so easy in this airplane, you just gotta jump in and do it. It already puts our speed there, I mean our temperature there. Runway wind, it's got that already. Slope, flaps, center of gravity, and our V speed. Pretty much all set. And now we can now back up and go. So it's pretty much that simple in this airplane. So let's go ahead and back up. It's racing us up now. release the parking brake. How do I move this thing? Hold the brakes backwards. You know, I don't really know how to move this thing back. Unless it's just going to do it automatically. To this. Aerofly mobile pushback. It might not work because we're in the beta mode either. Alright, driving the pushback. Start from the stand, pushback, move your throttle forward. Oh, move your throttle forward to start. Oh, okay. And then we can go left or right. Okay, very good. That's pretty cool. It's actually a good idea. I didn't think about moving it forward. I was like, let me just move it. Put on all the fuel pumps. Turn off the packs. Ventilation valve open. Start. Alright, we can stop. Some fuel. We're moving. We're moving. Let me put the parking brake on. Alright, let's start the next engine. Once motoring goes away, we can then flip the gasoline switch. At least that's how it works when I fly, at least. There we go, motoring is off. Fuel on. engines are on. Put on our CAS system, ET system. Alright, we can put our flaps down. Oh no, let's actually take care of a couple of things first. Emergency lights, we should have put those on a while ago. This switch is always a bitch to hit. Same thing on the 787. So fucking difficult. I might just leave it open the whole flight. I think it's so dumb. Okay, it can just stay. Alright. Belts on. Electric. Hydraulics. Generators on. Heat on. Off. Packs on for now. Valve auto. Off. Taxi light on. Logo light. Sterile cockpit. Well, we should make this like nighttime. Take off. Maybe we'll land at night. I can't believe I still can't. This button, I just don't. Let's try it from the co-pilot side. Maybe that's the problem. Nope. Alright, same problem. Alright, let's get out of here. 37. Let's move. I always like to do it 1,000 over. Alright, very good. We're ready to taxi. Put on our flight director. Other flight director. 10,000 is good for now. Our V speed is 150. We'll adjust our heading when we get up there. You can arm LNAV and VNAV now if you want to. Not a big deal, but yeah, we're ready to roll. Let's remove the parking brake and go taxi to runway 30. Right. Move our flaps down to 5. Put our auto brake on RTO. Ready for takeoff. I always like this camera angle from the tower. That's how we're going to take off again. I don't give a fuck if it's a bad takeoff. I like the camera view. Very tough to keep it straight on the runway when you're looking at it from this point of view. I checked every parking spot. Try to find one that... Ooh, another plane's taking off. That's cool. United Airlines 1402. Very cool. I tried to find a good parking spot so I could have this kind of view and take a thumbnail picture, but there was no good spots for this airport, Seattle here. Shame I can't pause my global. I was gonna say I can't pause my global series, but I paid for it for a year. Oh well. You can pay like I think $1.99 a month. I just paid $13 for the. Now that I have an iPad that can run this, I'm gonna be playing this a lot more often. Especially now with that A350, man. Hopefully they'll fix some of the issues with that, like with the charts, where the charts don't work, and the mouse is supposed to work on that too. I can't believe how advanced that A350 was for a For a mobile simulator, that is shit is crazy. Alright, let's put traffic on. Pipe up. Here or there. Let's put on data so we know what our waypoints are doing. When you click on the data button, it gives you usually speed and altitude information if there's constraints or any info for that waypoint, whether it's speed or altitude. Alright, we're gonna go around the back. That's close. Go ahead and put on our lights. Strobe lights. The attendants know we're leaving. Let's turn off the packs. Let's turn the auto throttle. Let's get out of here. Yes, we did not enter an amount of fuel in. We're not doing a whole flight front to back, You know how I do things. You get up near cruising altitude, we're going to fast forward all the way near the top of the descent. When we do that, it's going to refuel the tanks anyway, so don't need to worry about RTA, wind data. You don't have to worry about changing over any of the barometric pressure. Now, 18,000 feet, you'll have to switch it to standard. You don't have to worry about any extra, you don't have to worry about adjusting it, what I'm saying. Alright, I don't really care if we're lined up or not, because we're going to take off from power. Alright, let's roll, bitch. I'll pause it and rewind it a little bit so we can hear the engines and shit. You won. Positive rate, landing gear up. All right, let's go back in here. That was a wild takeoff, man. It was a good takeoff. I mean, like, as far as like wheels up and not scraping the bottom. Yes, I know we're going too fast right now, but I care now. So we're taking off like this. right, let's continue our flight. Sit back here for. I'm going to mute myself for a moment.
Because it's identical to the other 737, really. It's I would like for them to have a better system to input weight and fuel. I think if they did that, that would really be stepping up their game. You know, this company seems to be very set on. Why did I look at that? Let me change the camera.
seem to always just want to do minimal changes, and they're okay with it. Like,
change the weather, change the conditions a little denser with the clouds. Visibility down a little bit. And the sky looks pretty damn cool, man.
that looks amazing. Yes, yes, you can.
Now I'm in beta, but I didn't really adjust the graphics. Oh yeah, I do it right now. It's no problem. Yeah, I limited the frame rate. I have pixel density at 80, and then I just have to show the frame rate on. I'm on an iPad, so I don't have as much in the way of graphic settings as like an Android. I think Android's got a lot more. I have an Android, but the Android is not powerful enough to run it, so use the iPad. But yeah, I limited the frame rate. I could turn the limiting off. I think it'll go up to around 60, but it was crushing the hell out of my battery when I had this on. Let me see if it's any better now. I don't really know if you can really tell a difference simulator between 30 and 60.
This is only the second time I've streamed Aerofly. Usually I record videos. Usually I record the video and then edit it and put it up so I can control the volume a little bit more, but streaming it's a bit different, especially with this screen mirroring stuff.
Sweet altitude over here, because we're getting ready to fast forward to the top of this hill. We're still climbing. We'll start climbing again when we get to, when this triangle meets this line, and we'll start climbing again. Just put on standard pressure. It was already working.
hopefully you'll find a way to play the simulator. Like I gave up on this thing, this Aerofly, for like a year. I just flat out refused to buy a new iPad just to play this game, because for years I have a 2018 iPad Air that I used to use, and for years that thing was fine with Aerofly up until this local version came out. I was able to play it for like a week, and then something came out on the Aerofly saying it's no longer available on your tablet. And it kick rocks. That's when I started playing Microsoft, because I could play it on the tablet, on the iPad, using the cloud gaming from Xbox. But I've had a lot of requests for videos over the last year, and I really don't like not being able to help folks out if they're asking questions. So I just decided to get it. I found an iPad with the chip and the right update, and it was like $300. It might have been $300 total with the screen protector and the little case I had. I think it was maybe like $280 for the iPad. But you can get a nice Android tablet for a couple $100, or spend $500 for a Samsung, or you can just get a fucking base iPad and you're almost 60 frames a second. The only thing I got to worry about is the battery. Like, we're at 93, it's not too bad. The altitude changed to... I changed that altitude by accident. Well, whatever. We can transition to our descent, to the top of our descent. Okay. So in order to do this, well, first of all, let me change the time. So we can make it like maybe early morning over near Boston. So let's go back here. Let's go to location. Let's just zoom out. Now, doing this is going to refuel your airplane as well. Awesome, because if you're in the Dash Q400, you know as well as I do, and the Learjet, you know as well as I do that the gas goes real quick. Real quick. All right, we're going to start we'll start back here so we have a little bit of room. We're at 37,000 feet. We can click on Fly Now. We do need to put on our autopilot again. Now, doing this resets pretty much everything in the airplane. If you had any like fixes in the navigation, anything programmed, it's pretty much takes care of all of it. Let's get our, well, it looks like approach. They already got all that info in there. We don't really need to do anything for approach. One thing I want to check our I do want to check our landing, so we'll check that in a moment. Forecast. Well, let us put a forecast in. Man, you can't even type anything in there. Okay. Alright, so for our landing, we have... Alright, let me see what the frequency is. Let me see what it is in real life and make sure it matches up here on Aerofly. Because a lot of times, I shouldn't say a lot of times, sometimes these frequencies do not match up. Okay, so we have ILS, 110.3 and 35 for our course. Let's see what it says here. 110.3, 110. Okay, good. All right, we can go back. Now, since we didn't move our location, we shouldn't have to click autopilot again. It should still be set. Okay, so let's set our frequency. Now, these mode buttons, you can choose these for VOR, global positioning, ILS, VOR. So we have 110.3. I think so too, dude. They do business jets really well. Like, I would like to see like a Gulfstream. I would like to see like a I wouldn't say another Learjet, but I like a Dassault Falcon. That would be a cool plane. Maybe a couple of the Cessna versions, you know, of the jets. I think they should do. I think that, and they do pretty well with helicopters. Like that UH-60 helicopter is pretty damn good. I think that helicopter would be, like, if they could do a couple more helicopters, I think that would be dope as hell. Citation, yes. Citation. Absolutely. That'd be such a cool plane to have. Alright, we got both frequencies set. 110.3, 110.3. Let's go ahead and set our course. On both sides with 35. Something. So, we got 36 miles, and let's set this for 35 as well. I always set both sides the same. They're pretty much set for. I do want to look at our altitude. We'll look at the arrival page. So at seats, we got level 21,000. If it even has that waypoint. Alright, we'll just take its word for it. Let me at least look at the landings. So we have precision height of 100. And at Winnie, we should be at 4,000. That's what they have here. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Alright, looks like we got it okay. We just need to put in our decision height. And do here. Already at 100. You don't need to do anything, it's already set. See what this looks like, kind of like in the early morning. Let me against time. See, it's only showing at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, UTC. Oh, I thought I was setting our time. So we're 4 hours. So we have to set this for quick math. 1 plus 1 is 2 minus quick math. All right, that could be something in the morning. All right, that's good. Okay, let me reduce it. Have a little better frame rate. Begin our descent into Boston soon and hopefully have a good landing, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll connect my flight stick. Maybe I'll connect my whole Turtle Beach system, and maybe we'll do that other flight right after it, the Sukhoi 95 jet. Hey, what up, bacon? I love me some bacons. I don't know if I love you, but I just met you. But I love me some bacon. It's like one of the best foods ever. When I was growing up, my friend worked at a restaurant at the mall near our house. We used to go there on Friday nights and order a bacon. Best thing ever. 5 crispy strips of bacon for $1. You put on a paper towel, and that motherfucker was delicious. It was delicious. Alright, sounds like we are starting our descent. That will happen when you have VNAV. Alright, let's set this to, it doesn't really matter what we set it to. We'll set it to 4,000 feet. Now, I do have a Discord if you guys want to, are interested in that. Let me put the link in the chat.
Discord as much as I used to because of my job, but I do usually put a lot of flight simulating news in there, screenshots. There's a whole political channel if you want to dump on somebody politically. Feel free, nobody will judge you. We just we keep it to one channel for any kind of political commentary. Right, let me copy this. Something spilled on my keyboard. No wonder it's been hard to type tonight. Hang on a second. No, I don't fly in real life. But I've been flying simulators for a very long time. And yeah, so no, I don't fly in real life, but I've been playing around with simulators for a very long time. And I've been able to pick up on aircraft pretty, I won't say easily, but I've been able to retain a lot of info for some reason. I don't know why. Somehow I read stuff about airplanes and it just kind of sticks in my head. And then I got thousands of hours in simulators, X-Plane, Microsoft, this one. This one I probably have the most hours in. I mean, I played this thing religiously for like 5 years. I turned to Microsoft or to X-Plane. Well, no. I used to play X-Plane on the iPad as well. But I was really limited to like three aircraft on there. It was like the 737, the Mad Dog, and like the Cirrus. Maybe the SR-22 as well. But, yeah, that and this simulator. And I used to play Airline Commander. That game was so much fun from Wertos, I think is how you pronounce it. And the whole game is just taking off and landing. Every once in a while you get a real flight, like a long flight. Mainly it's just taking off and landing. Yeah, now that I have this iPad, I'll be making more videos for Aerofly, because I love me some Aerofly. Still do Microsoft videos and still do X-Plane. I got a Microsoft video coming up maybe after this. Depends if I guess I'll do it. I'll just connect my flight stick and do it, but I would love to become a commercial pilot, yeah. So my plan is when my kids are old enough to where they're on their own, I would like to go for my pilot's license. I got a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, so I'm very close to possibly living my dream. I actually set up a GoFundMe for it, but a while ago. But I would love to be an actual pilot, yeah. I'm a single parent with full custody of 2 kids that I've had full custody now for almost 10 years. And hasn't been easy. I haven't had a lot of time to do things for myself. But I would love to become a real pilot one day. Absolutely. I think flying's one of the coolest things ever. Is my nose still real red? I guess so. It's so weird, man. Like, my nose never gets red, and then right before I went on tonight, like, my nose was bright red, and I was like, shit. I don't want to stream. A couple of things I'd like to see Aerofly change. I'd like to see them implement a way to start with weather parameters, like where you can have rain, and you can have a change in the barometer. That way you can change it in your flight as well. That's one thing I wish that they implemented at some point, was being able to do that. I mean, we can change the barometer now, but it doesn't, like, it's not in line with the weather in the game. Weather in the game is just a standard barometer the whole time. It'd be nice if we had capability of changing that. Let's put our auto brakes on. We probably should have put those on earlier. This looks okay. Nothing really down here you need to worry about. It's a clockwork. The clock does work. Oh, shit. Well, I'm sold. Clockworks.
Oh yeah, that unregistered will pop up periodically because I'm using a free version of the screen mirroring. Well, thanks. I appreciate that, Juliet. Yeah, I try. You know, I watched videos for a long time before I decided to start doing this, and it was always hard for me to kind of understand what people were doing. I just didn't really like the way they were explaining things, and I just decided to. Very easy to stream nowadays. You really just need a camera and Wi-Fi. So, you know. But thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to make them where it's, the everyday person can understand what's going on. I've listened to some pilots do this before, and they try to be all professional, which is fine. They're a pilot. They're supposed to be professional in real life, but in a simulator, you know, it's okay to loosen the tie up and talk so us regular folk can understand it. And I don't know if that's called ray tracing. I need to ask my son, but that shit looks so good. That looks almost as good as Microsoft Simulator, the way the sun is glaring. That's awesome. Yeah, get yourself a $300 iPad and enjoy the simulator. I'm 99% sure I'm going to stream another flight directly after this. I just need to go in and re-upload a thumbnail and change the title, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be flying. Let me get the flight up here. Pictures. It's the other one I put in the post on YouTube. Where's it at? Oh, it's here somewhere. This one right here. So this flight right here, I might be doing right afterwards. It's the Headwinds simulation SU95X from, I think that's St. Petersburg to somewhere in Russia. Mother Russia. Pretty sure that's what I'm going to be doing afterwards. Now for Microsoft Simulator and for flight and for X-Plane, I actually use I have a really nice Turtle Beach yoke with like 4 throttles and rudder pedals and all that, which kind of new for me. I didn't roll with that for a long time. I used to just use a joystick, an Xbox joystick, and mouse and keyboard and shit, but I decided to step up my game a little bit. We can put on regular pressure. What's this? So just swipe up. And swipe up. Our landing lights on now, we're below. Diesel flight. Not like we're probably not going to have any failures, but our seatbelts on, and we should have adjusted this altitude here a while ago. And we're looking at an elevation of so we should be above 11,000 feet. That's what that means for lobby. And you see that there, lobby 11,000A, 13,000B. So we need to be below 13,000 and above 11,000, according to the arrival chart. That's what I have to do with the simulator. It'd be nice if they had a heads-up display in this thing. That heads-up display in the, well, the one in the CRJ in this game is great. The one last night was real good. That one was real good. And the 350. Alright. We should be slowing down here pretty soon.
You'll notice it's time when this kind of arrow goes down a bit. Usually on this navigation screen there's like a green dot or something like that to show you where you're supposed to start slowing down. Still got us at 300 mark. Jesus, hang on, let me change this. Perfect. I doubt it'll let me do it. 250 and 11. Oh shit. Let me do it. Alright, good. Let's put some drag in here. When it asks for drag, just put the speed brake up.
I wasn't expecting it to allow me to change it. That's pretty cool.
We're leveling out. Let's go ahead and put the speed brake down. Down to actually 1700 is where we should. We'll leave it 4,000 for now. Let's put it at 60. No. Speed intervention. If you ever want to take manual control of the speed, just go up to this button, speed, SPD, INTV for speed intervention. Hit that button in and then toggle in what you want to use for the speed. Alright, we're gonna do VS mode for that. Close enough to,
Usually under 10,000 feet, I'll do VS mode
instead of VNAV. Just a preference I have. So we gotta stop at 9,000 feet here. Graphics look so good on this. I can't believe it's like this. I can't believe it was a mobile game. So RW, like I look at this and then I look at like X-Plane on the computer and I'm like, hey, another golf course. I think that's like the 7th one we've seen today. That another one? It's another golf course, it looks like. You can always tell a golf course because it's got like the on the dog leg, but it's got like bends, trees around it and shit. Yeah, it looks like another golf. Alright, after we pass this waypoint, I'm gonna put this on I'm going to take it off speed intervention, put it back on VNAV, so the speed will control itself. Once we pass this waypoint, I don't want to activate VNAV right now and then have it shoot up 300 miles an hour, 300 knots when we're getting ready to do. Alright, VNAV. Now if you look, we have a little white diamond showing up near the 8,000 there.
I'm like pointing to my screen like you guys can see it. And right where the 8,000 is, I believe that is the indicator for the glide slope where we're landing the lag.
Pretty soon we're going to be going into manual mode, like heading mode, and switching our itself over so we can do an ILS approach here. Coming up on Boston Airport here. I'm actually just going to drop this down to our glide slope, capture altitude, which is 1700. Fire. Now it's asking for drag right now, so we can catch up to the VNAV profile. Hey, look, that big triangle is way underneath. That means we're too high. That's why it's asking for. We can catch up to our descent profile. There, now it's off. We can release the parking. We can release the speed brake now. There's Boston Logan. I'm pointing to the screen like everybody can see what I'm pointing at. Like I'm looking at my iPad, like pointing at it, like it's right there, and I'm like, nobody can see what I'm doing. You look underneath the wing, see Boston Logan Airport. TBM-9, that's another plane they should have in this game. TBM-9, that's a great little plane. I think it's so much fun to fly in Microsoft Sim. Once we make this turn so we're parallel with Boston Logan, we're going to go into heading mode. And then get ready to arm localizer and the and approach mode. Right now we can just kind of chill. The runway we're going to be coming in on is this one that we're looking at right now. The other side of it, where it looks like the E190 is coming into that JetBlue flight. JetBlue A320, downtown Boston. Nuclear power plant, can't miss it. Where's Fenway? Should be over here somewhere. Maybe over here. No, it's like right where near the water here somewhere. I'm losing my voice, man. Maybe I won't be able to stream later. I talk all day for a living. I do insurance during the day. I'm always on the phone. I'm not complaining. I like my job. But I'm on the phone for like 7 hours a day. That's rough, man. Talking that much. Alright, we're doing good. We might need to put some flaps in. We're at 217. We're limited to 210. We could put flaps down now, some flaps, but we'll leave it. We'll leave it alone for now. I'll let this airplane do its thing. Let's see where we're at. Time to go. Not time to go into heading mode yet. Ever want to know, like, some info here? Landing gear extension speeds, flap speeds. Maybe we could put flaps down now. Let's do that. Let's put a couple of layers of flaps down. Could flaps too. That's very disappointing. I was expecting to hear that much better. I'm on Aerofly, you're better than that. Aerofly doing people dirty. Making them double with hydraulics sound bad. B39M, Swiss, I4N. Spirit Airlines 20. Is that another nuclear power plant? Yep. They must copy and paste a lot of this stuff because I don't think there's 2 nuclear power plants around Boston. That's a little suspect to me. I'd have to look into that. I'd have to have my people call your people on that one. Alright, let's get ready to go into heading mode. Let's adjust our heading. And let's go into heading mode. Let's continue our descent. Actually, we're okay at 6,000 here. Let's altitude hold. Let's adjust our speed a little bit. Now we are 6 miles away from the airport. Yeah, it says Airbus EME 6.8, 6.9, 7. That's the mileage. Actually, we're going to start descending now. We're going to not pay attention anymore to waypoints. All we're going to focus on now is the localizer. So let's switch our nav mode here to approach. And let's get rid of it. Let's make it full screen. Go. When we get to about 15 miles out, I'm gonna turn us around when we get to about 15 miles out. Or if the glide slope here, this pink diamond, it's above the horizon line, then I'll spin us around. But until then, we're just gonna do what we're doing. Heading a little bit. When you have these buttons and you have it where it's got that like green dot in the center, like that bullseye, if you want to push the button in, just swipe up or swipe down. Usually it's swipe up, but you can do either one. Ready to turn around. Your glide slope is starting to cross our horizon line, so we can actually start making our turn now. So let's go. So we're about 90 degrees from the localizer. 90 degrees from 35 degrees would be, I think, 295. I think. 35 is 0. 35 minus 90 is 55. We have the route here. Once we start getting close to that line, we'll start moving our heading in, and then we'll activate approach mode. Let's start turning a little bit. Where's the localizer? Now, if you're within 45 degrees of the localizer, you can go ahead and just click on localizer.
2500.
Let's do that now. Click on localizer. You could really click on approach mode if you wanted to now, because we still have the glide slope. But if you were to push approach mode and there's no diamond there, the only thing that's going to activate is the localizer. Approach mode, you need that diamond to show up before. Alright, localizer is captured. Go ahead and outarm approach mode. And let's activate both A and B. We can do a Category 3 landing.
Category 3 landing is basically when the airplane flares and does the rollout along its own.
We're 13 miles out. We'll reduce our speed when we get a little closer to the glide slope capturing. Speed for approach. Minute ref. 144 plus 5. 144 to that. See the airport right in front of us. Now I'm going to stay in the cockpit for this landing. I'm probably going to rewind it and look at it from a few different angles afterwards. But oh, and let me get my belly together. Hang on. If you see my videos, you know I like the belly landing I talk about. So let's go back. Let me put my iPad on my belly. Push start and now calibrate. Now we got the belly calibration. All right, gear down. Good. Flaps 5. Turn the speed brake. You can see how it says rollout and flare. That's because it's a band 3 category. That's because we have both autopilot A and B engaged. I'm going to do a manual landing. So let's turn off the autopilot.
20, 10.
Very good. Very good. Belly works. All right, let's look at this landing from a couple different angles. Let's do, I'm gonna do under the wheels first. Loud. We'll leave auto throttle on with this landing. Center line, I gotta continue to work on center line. That's one thing I need to improve upon, that's for sure. Getting them soft and buttery touchdowns, but we need to work on the center line a little bit. Super soft, super buttery touchdowns. Oh yeah, that's nice. Very nice. All right, let's look at it maybe from yeah, let's. Oh, you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to do one. Hopefully there won't be a building in the way. Oh yeah, that was sweet. All right, and let's just do one more angle, I guess. This one here. Oh, we got a shadow of the airplane too. That's pretty cool. I just want to see the engines open up. Speed brakes come up. Very cool. Very cool. I liked it. I'll be back soon with a new episode of the Airplane Show coming up in really just probably about 10 minutes. I'm going to eat a couple more bites of dinner, get the thumbnail, get the description set up, and then I'll be back very soon. See you soon. Please hit like and subscribe before you leave this video. I certainly appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next episode of the Airplane Show. And that's about it, my friends. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.